What's up everybody? Andrew Steele here. You're probably wondering why I'm standing inside of this big empty hangar. Well, I've got a little story I gotta tell you about Newmar. It's a 2019 Newmar Essex. But today we're gonna show you a few of the problems that it's been having. If you've been following my channel, you've probably seen this coach in the Why is Prevost $1.5 million more than Newmar video. And even in that video, we discovered a little problem with the basement door. This coach is owned by a professional race car driver and managed by a motorsports company. This motorsports company is meticulous and picks apart any little flaws, even stuff like these little bumps in the paint on the railings. Stuff that's minor defects, but they still notice it. There are a lot of little flaws in this coach, like heavy adhesive and glue coming out of the cracks. This kind of stuff is pretty minor, but there are a few issues that are a little more severe. Stuff like the huge difference in the gaps of the seams are a little concerning. This is still really minor stuff, but at $830,000, I can see why this management team is frustrated. The other problem that we saw was the fresh water tank was showing that it was losing water. The coach was recently at the factory to address a long list of items, but a lot of this stuff did not get fixed. I was not impressed with all the sawdust and the messy cords underneath the panels. The motorsports company hired a team of professionals to get this stuff fixed. We were detailing another coach close by, so I was able to hear what was going on and kind of look over these guys' shoulders and see what they were doing, spending all this time fixing a brand new Newmar. It didn't make sense to me how they could be spending this much time on a brand new coach. So last night I was showing you the guys were out here working on this coach. They're still out here again today. This has been several days of these guys working on this coach, and we're detailing some other coaches here, so we're working alongside these guys. So I'm able to just kind of hear a little bit about what's going on here and what the problem is with this coach. So there was some water leaking in this bay, and they are putting everything back together right now. This is a 2019 Newmar Essex, so obviously it's a new coach, and as you can see, those screws are rusted out. And I took some video earlier of how messy all of the wiring was. These guys fixed this. They also fixed the water tank sensor. That was bad. And they redid a lot of the wiring. So it's just a lot of zip ties, but it's a lot cleaner now. And they cleaned up all of that sawdust and shakeout that was in that video that you guys saw from a couple days before. So I've been just kind of filming bits and pieces about this particular problem as the guys have been working alongside us. While I'm right here, I just want to point out a couple other things. I was just talking to the gentleman about this problem, and I noticed a couple other build quality issues while I was talking to him about that problem. Just overspray in the basement door jambs. That could have been taped off. That's just, you know, I'm someone that's in the industry, and it's poor quality work. Like, you got to tape off the door jambs and not get overspray. Like, this guy just spent 800 grand. I don't think he wants to look at a kind of black, kind of silver, kind of white. Like, that's just not good finish work. And then while I'm at it too, this hinge right here, when this basement door opens, they had to adjust the hinge so that it wouldn't hit the slide out right there. That's another thing. Just when you open this basement door, you're gonna dent it because it's gonna go into the slide out there. So another thing that I can understand now why this client's so upset. My client, who is the motorsport management company that manages this coach, and he was really upset, and I thought it'd be fun to make a YouTube video just so people know some of the situations that can happen when you have a 2019 Newmar Essex You can spend a whole ton of dough. So the plus side to all of this is I feel a lot better about the money that I spent on my 2008 Tiffin Phaeton. I've got a couple minor problems going on, but I didn't just drop like close to 800 grand on a new coach. I'm only into this thing for like $106,495 plus sales tax and some other fun stuff, but definitely feeling good about my purchase right now, and I'm glad I'm not the guy that just spent 800 grand. One of the other problems with this bus was the full wall slide here behind me, and one of the things that slide out problem caused was a cracked tile here.
Got it. So see how the metal goes all the way across? He bent, and instead of fixing it, they cut it off.
And that was when it was at Newmar? Or? So as I'm going around this bus, another thing that I noticed is this screw is coming out here, and then there's another screw in the slide out that's completely gone. Coach owner spent a lot of money on this coach and has really high expectations, and you can see there's a screw that's crooked there. These guys really want their stuff tight. So my client with this 2019 Newmar Essex is going through a lot of the different flaws that he has found in this coach and a lot of the things that he's not happy with. And I'm trying to be as unbiased at all, and I'm trying to stick up for Newmar as much as possible here. Some of the flaws that he's pointing out I think are a little bit petty, but this is definitely not petty. I actually helped him with this when he was getting ready to go to Virginia. We were, detailing the coach, and we go over everything. And while I was doing that, I noticed that the coolant level was low. So I actually helped him. We found the right coolant, make sure that we were adding the right coolant. Wanted to make sure that this coach was going to be tight before we drove it across country. And here we are about 4 weeks later. So here we're about 4 weeks later. Now he has drove it to Virginia and back. Now the coolant we're finding is low again here. So we've got a coolant leak somewhere. It's a 2019 Newmar Essex. So the other thing I noticed is, I know they were in a hurry to get a few things fixed for this gentleman, but it seems like one of the common tools that they're using to get things fixed that I've noticed on this bus is zip ties. Here's another piece that's zip tied together, and hey, it's it's serving its purpose. But like even on my 08 Tiffin Phaeton, I had a similar part with the air filter that I had to get it on there right, and zip ties didn't cut it for me. I made sure that I had the right bracket, so I'm a little bit concerned that zip tie could break. And then another thing here, they didn't have time to get this screwed back in. The screw is loose here, so this radiator door was rattling, and this is zip tied together as well, which I, as a detailer, really don't like that, because when I worked for the Mercedes dealership, before I started this business, we would have this happen where if there's a piece of plastic that's whipping against paint, it is going to cause windburn, and that's something that even a professional detailer can't take out. We can wet sand it, we can do everything, but when this little piece of plastic is rubbing on that paint, it's going to do damage to that paint, and it's never going to be the same again. So for people like this that are buying $830,000 coaches, they've got a real high level of expectations, and they're not going to be happy about all these little paint rub marks on a 2019 $800,000 coach. Since I filmed this video, the driver of this coach reported back to me that there was no air conditioning coming from the dash working. Also, when they put the slide outs out, this trim piece fell off. This coach is scheduled to go back to the factory in Indiana in September. I'll be sure to give you an update on how everything goes. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. Thanks for watching.